Hello, I'm William Hunt and welcome to our first radio show for this school year. We hope you've all had a great summer. We've got lots to say.
We are going to start this show with an interview from our new head girl, Natasha Corrigan. Over to Emily, Mimi and Tilly.
Back in May, Natasha Corrigan and Ellie Tompkinson were appointed as head girl and deputy head girl. We interviewed them to find out more about their new roles.
Did you always believe you would get the position?
No, I hoped that I would get the position, but because there was such a strong group of us in the officer team, I thought it could have been any one of us, but I was glad that I got chosen.
What were your reactions to finding out that you would be deputy head girl?
It was kind of a shock to begin with. I didn't really expect it. I didn't think I'd done too well in the interview, but I was overjoyed when I found out that I was the one that they picked.
What responsibilities do you have in this role?
We have quite a lot of responsibilities, so we have to represent the school at different events such as open evening or when primary schools come in and have a look around. We're sort of leading that. We also have responsibilities when we hold open days and also events like the Great X Show and Hamilton Gala.
What are you planning to do as deputy head girl?
And so we're planning so far to do a happiness day, which should take place quite soon. And with that, we've decided that we're going to have sort of music playing in the refectory and chocolates being handed out, and just kind of making the school as happy as it can be just for that week. And hopefully we'll try and keep that more of a termly thing if we can keep it going for as long as we can.
Thank you, girls. It was great to get to know our new head girl, but now let's hear from a few of our past students, which some of you may already know.
Let's hear about how they got on in their GCSEs and what they're doing in the future. Over to Emma, Larissa and Jar Jar.
We caught up with the past Year 11s and asked them about their GCSE results.
Ex-Year 11 Joseph Holdsworth told us about his results.
Hello, I'm Joseph Holdsworth.
And I'm Alan Hughes.
And I'm Michael Head. I got 10 A stars and a B. I was still really happy with it. I couldn't have done much better, so I worked hard for them, so I felt I got what I deserved. So.
How about you, Alan? How did you feel and what did you get?
I got 6 Bs and I got 5 Cs. I felt happy, didn't fail anything, and I was really pleased, and I was able to do the courses I wanted to at sixth form, so that was the goal really. So yeah, I was pleased.
I got 2 A stars, 3 Bs, and 6 Cs. So I was dead happy about that. Especially in my drama and ICT, because I felt like I worked really hard to get them top grades, and so just those hard work pays off. And I'm here with
Tori Lord.
What results did you get, and how did you feel about them?
I got 9 A stars, 2 A's and a B, and I was really happy.
Michael, what advice would you give?
Start revising early. That's the main thing. I started in around March, April. So don't put it off. Don't think, it'll be fine. It's just GCSEs. Revise for them. It helps a lot.
But don't tell yourself that I'll be fine. I've still got weeks left because they soon run out. And make sure that you are prepared to put the work in to get the grades that you want. Because trust me, the exams are much harder sitting there on the day, even despite how much revision you've done.
And also make sure you know the best way that you revise. So mind maps, maybe. With a friend, test yourself, but don't study for stupid 8 hours a day. Make sure you give yourself breaks.
So try and reward yourself, when you do Unit 1 and osmosis in biology, give yourself a Freddo, but don't eat all the Freddos at once and then not revise until the night before.
We interviewed Mr Tyson as well, who was the past Year 11's head of year.
What advice would you give to the Year 11s now, based on last year's achievements and mistakes?
The advice I give to current Year 11 is to start revision early. Those that struggled last year were the ones that started revision a little bit too late. Start at Christmas, draw revision timetables, and by Easter you should be revising daily.
That's enough of the past. Let's go to the future and hear about the new teachers. Over to you, Millie and Anna.
Last term, Mrs Morland, a loved English teacher, retired, and the wonderful Mrs Kilshaw joined the St Aidan's family. We interviewed Mrs Kilshaw about St Aidan's.
So how do you feel about being a new member of the St Aidan's family?
I feel very privileged to be part of the St Aidan's family. I've been hoping to join the St Aidan's family for a very long time, and I've felt very, very welcomed by staff and students alike.
What inspired you to become an English teacher?
English, to me, and English texts, they are like a painting where you can express how you feel, and yet it can have many interpretations. And because I can't draw or paint as much as I would love to, I can express myself through English, and I want to give other people the chance to explore that for themselves.
And finally, what's your favourite topic in English?
I always love narrative writing because I have such a vivid imagination myself, and it gives people a chance to really challenge stereotypes. However, I think my ultimate favourite is poetry, and Stop All the Clocks, which I learnt when I was at school, I still absolutely adore now and know it off by heart still.
In addition, we have a new languages teacher, Miss Gonzalo.
We caught up with her to ask her some questions about her new position at St Aidan's.
What do you enjoy about teaching languages?
Teaching languages, I would say I enjoy discussing cultures in different countries. I enjoy trying to encourage students to use authentic accents rather than just saying the words, and talking about ways of life in other countries and encouraging conversation.
What exciting things do you expect to do with the students that you teach?
At the moment, I've got a lot of projects and book reviews lined up for them to discuss and write about. Lots of things using the iPads that they have and the different apps. Encouraging a lot of conversation in classrooms, getting them up, getting them moving around, talking to different people. Also in the future I'm hoping to do a languages club, so that should be starting soon, which will include playing games at lunchtime but in the target languages, French and German.
Not only are there new teachers this year, let's hear from Miss Seville about our new Year 7s. Over to you, Jack and Miss Seville.
Since New Year 7s have joined, Miss Seville's back to being head of Year 7. We spoke to her and see what she thought about the New Year 7s and the upcoming events.
What do you think of the New Year 7s?
I think the New Year 7s are going to fit into St Aidan's really, really well. They're a really, really friendly bunch, they're very hard working, and they seem to be settling into school life really, really well.
Are you looking forward to the new opportunities that involve the Year 7s?
Absolutely, yeah, we've got loads to look forward to this year. We've got visits planned, we've got things going on in school for them, so it's going to be quite an exciting year, and obviously the opportunity to get to know all of these new students as well is something I'm really looking forward to.
How well do you think the Year 7s are finding their way through school?
Really well, actually. I think I've had very, very few students come and say that they're lost this year, which is a first. And yeah, they just seem to be really getting on with it. Everyone seems to be settling in really well. And I know that obviously all the older students are really looking out for them, which is really lovely.
For some travel updates, where we'll be hearing about summer camp, Normandy, and the soon-to-be geography trip.
St Aidan's summer camp started on the 21st of August. There were lots of different activities, but most pupils liked the School Olympics best. In the end, the winners were green, then red, and finally blue came last. Now we're going to interview Miss Cross. At the time, how did you think the students were going to get on at St Aidan's?
I actually felt that the students were going to settle in really well at St Aidan's. We had a fantastic week. There were 55 Year 7 students with us. That's nearly a third of the year group, and it gave them a fantastic start to their life at St Aidan's. It allowed them to explore the school sites, to find out where they were going, to make new friends, and just to learn some of the expectations that school has of Year 7 students on starting.
Ben, how did you enjoy summer camp and what was it like?
I enjoyed going to Russell, going to the planetarium. It was really good. We sat in the dark and watched the stars eventually pop up, and then after that we got shown the pictures that the Greeks could see at night, and how they got the names of what it looks like.
And this one's for James. What was your favourite part of the whole summer camp?
It was probably Olympics. I quite enjoyed playing rounders and cricket.
Thank you to Ben, James and Mrs Cross for their insight on summer camp and 2016. Hopefully back for summer camp 2017 for all the news then.
Earlier in the holidays, a group of students years 8 to 11 went on an adventure holiday to Normandy, France. After a painful journey, we arrived and settled down into our tents. Heidi Franklin, year 8, said, "The tents weren't the best, but they were overall great. However, the teachers' tents were a lot better as they weren't slug infested. Aside from that, the campsite was great, complete with a shop and beach volleyball club." I interviewed Miss Bray to find out more.
What activities did we do and what was your favourite?
We did all sorts of things. We did rock climbing, kayaking, raft building, there was archery, high ropes, and my favourite was something called Nightline, which is basically where students got blindfolded and then I got to throw lots of water over them whilst they were blindfolded, which was probably my highlight of the whole trip.
What was the funniest moment overall?
For me, I think there were quite a lot, but for me I think Mrs Kalinsky and I plotting to overturn our kayak so that Mr Chadwick got absolutely soaked, and his face afterwards was probably my funniest moment. But it was a fantastic trip and I think there were lots of smiles and giggles and laughter throughout, which was fantastic.
On Thursday, we had an excursion day where we went to a French market. Approximately 50% of people came away with miniature Eiffel Towers. After our final tea, we settled down on our last night to the wonderful sounds of Normandy. Crickets, moths in our tents and cars for those lucky enough to be by the road. In the morning, we said our emotional goodbyes to the lovely staff at Acorn Adventures and set off on our 18-hour journey home. Goodbye, France.
Thanks for that, Millie. Now let's hear all about the up-and-coming geography trip.
Saturday the 8th of October, there is an upcoming family geography trip to Malham in the Yorkshire Dales. The reason behind this family walk is for the students to experience real-life geography with their families and to look at the breathtaking sights.
The day starts when the students and their families get on a coach to Malham. Once there, the families embark on their long and exciting journey. We spoke to Mr Eccles to find out more.
And it's an amazing place to see as well, so I think it's good for all the family to be involved in geography in the outdoors rather than in the classroom. I hope they will be able to see what they've learnt in class, but see it up close and personal by walking next to it, walking on it, and be able to use what they've learned to explain to their parents some of these features and how they've been formed. So it'll be a really good chance for our students to show off their geographical knowledge.
Now, that's enough of trips. Let's hear about some of our new clubs.
There is a new school year started. There are a lot of new clubs beginning. There is a wide range of new clubs for all ages.
There is Fake Club for all ages, and the dance club on a Friday lunch is back up and running.
There is also Wood Tech and Textiles Club.
These are just a few of the clubs that are available at St Aidan's.
Wow, they sound good. Let's go over to Tilly, Olivia and Amelia.
Upcoming events. Here are some dates for your diary. On the 12th of October, St Aidan's will be doing a parents' evening for the Year 11s and their parents from 5 to 7, and one for Year 10s and their parents on the 22nd of September from 5 to 7 p.m. Parents' evenings are a chance for your parents to bond with your teachers so you can improve on your work. Family Challenge Evening will be held on the 6th of October from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. It will be held in the hall and there will be a lot of students and parents. The Family Challenge has run for many years now, with challenges ranging from building boxes to holding and protecting eggs. Last year the event was all about code cracking. On Friday the 28th of October, school finally closes. So until then, enjoy your school days.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. We will be back soon with more updates.